Hey everybody, this is Kevin Sampson of Picture Lock, and with me right now I have the co-writer and co-producer of OMG, for Pete's sake, Katie Barbaro. Katie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Most definitely, it's my pleasure. All right, so your web series is going to be in the DC Web Fest. Could you give us a description of the web series?
Sure. The story is about I play a 22-year-old girl who meets a 39-year-old guy on Tinder. And they start dating, and he's also a wedding videographer. And on their second date, he offers her an internship. So they makes for a lot of fun adventures.
Most definitely. So, how did you come up with the idea for this?
It's funny. I actually met my writing partner, Peter Ferrero, who is amazing and wonderful. We met on the casting website Backstage, where you can post your actor profile or your director profile and find people. So we worked on a project together, and then realized we wanted to kind of create something together, like a web series. And so it initially started as, I don't know, I guess I had the idea because I met my actual boyfriend on Tinder, so it's a little close to
Nice.
we we moved across the country together, so it's, tried and true, I guess. Um, but it's funny because the web series kind of mirrors our professional working relationship, because we met online, and we, have formed a bond through, like, the internet, which is such a weird thing.
Yeah, that internet is it's such a beast, isn't it? All right, so what makes your web series special? And who would it appeal to? Because a lot of times we do see that 20 something single out there trying to explore the world, but what makes OMG so great?
Well, what's interesting about it is that it would appeal to the 20 somethings. Like, my character is definitely just like one of those say yes to everything and then see what happens. And also, Peter plays the character Brett, who is turning 40, and he's getting closer to the time of his life where, things are a little more real, and, he's been divorced. And so it kind of appeals to the older and younger crowd. And there's a lot of other fun characters too in the show that have different opinions about what Brett and Claire are getting themselves into. So.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So let's talk about developing characters, because for a web series, you have to do it so quickly. And I know you have a comedy background, acting, obviously. But as a co-writer, what was it like to write for the series? And like I said, developing the characters in a quick way where an audience can know who that character is and fall in love with them.
Right, I know that's tricky. Well, I think with anything, like, I think that acting in general is most successful when you are able to access something that's true to yourself. So, um, thankfully, we actually work with a lot of actors that we know already, and so we're kind of able to craft them as heightened versions of of ourselves in a certain way. So. I think that's what makes a lot of the characters relatable and accessible, is because they're they're pretty grounded. I would say a lot of our characters are grounded, so it's easy to watch.
Yeah. All right. So, what are your short and long term goals for the series?
Well, we've used this first season. We've kind of taken some fun turns. We've Our goal for our first season was to make each of our episodes some you can watch it still going to be entertaining, but also, there's an arc that takes us through the entire season as well. So we are sort of wrapping up season one in the next 6 or 7 episodes, and then we're hoping to promote the show to get it all a big fan base before we move on to season two. So I think um, we've got some fun ideas for where we can go in their next batch of episodes.
Awesome. All right, so one of the things I think about web series, they're kind of hard to pin down in regards to like film festivals, kind of putting it out there. I mean, they're not necessarily new, but at the same time, a film festival is kind of like, well, do we show one episode? Do we show all of them? How do we do this? So DC Web Fest, how important is that to the genre of web series?
Oh, it's so important. Like it's so cool that we have this very specific event for the web series because it's such a booming medium right now. So I think it's great because otherwise these awesome projects that are being created would just kind of get lost in the flow of things, it seems, at another film festival. So yeah, it's awesome that things like the DC Web Fest and other web festivals are popping up to highlight some of this cool stuff that's happening on the crazy internet.
Yeah, where you can meet your boyfriend and fall in love. All right, so Katie, as we're wrapping up, how can people actually see the show?
Well, you can see it at youtube.com/OMG for Pete's sake. And yeah, that's a see it. You can also like our page on Facebook. It's OMG for Pete's sake, or facebook.com/OMG for Pete's sake, and follow on Twitter and Instagram. Everything's OMG for Pete's sake.
OMG for Pete's sake. That's not hard to remember.
You'll find it.
All right, Katie. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, it was so great talking to you too. Thank you so much.